In the sweltering summer of 1985, a shadow fell over California. A sense of dread so thick you could almost taste it. People were triple-checking their locks, sleeping with lights on, and looking at their neighbors with suspicion. An unseen monster was on the loose, slipping into homes under the cover of darkness, leaving behind a trail of terror and chaos. The media called him the Night Stalker, a name that would become synonymous with pure, unadulterated fear. Hello, and welcome to Unresolved Casefiles. Today, we delve into the chilling story of Richard Ramirez, the man who brought a summer of horror to the Golden State. It began subtly, with a series of seemingly disconnected, brutal crimes. But as investigators pieced together the evidence, a horrifying pattern emerged. The attacker was random, his methods vicious. He showed no preference for age, neighborhood, or background. Anyone could be next. He would enter homes through unlocked windows or doors, a phantom in the night. The survivors' accounts painted a terrifying picture: a tall, gaunt figure with wild eyes, rotten teeth, and a stench of decay, often demanding they swear allegiance to Satan before committing his heinous acts. This wasn't just robbery or violence, it was a ritual of terror. The fear was palpable. Gun sales skyrocketed. Neighborhood watch groups formed overnight. The Los Angeles Police Department assembled a massive task force. But the killer was elusive, always one step ahead. He left behind confusing and contradictory clues. Sometimes there were pentagrams scrolled on the walls or the bodies of his victims. Other times, he left specific shoe prints, a rare Via brand sneaker. This single detail would become a crucial piece of the puzzle. The pressure on law enforcement was immense. The public demanded answers. They demanded safety, but the Night Stalker's reign of terror continued unabated through the hot, anxious summer nights. Richard Ramirez was born in El Paso, Texas, in 1960. His childhood was anything but normal. A head injury at a young age reportedly changed his personality, and his exposure to violence was early and extreme. His older cousin, a Vietnam veteran, would show him graphic photos of the atrocities he committed overseas, and even taught a young Richard disturbing combat skills. This same cousin, in a fit of rage, murdered his own wife right in front of Ramirez. These formative years were steeped in darkness, likely shaping the monster he would become. By his early 20s, Ramirez had drifted to California, living a transient life of petty crime and drug abuse, descending further into an obsession with Satanism. The breakthrough in the case came from a single, crucial mistake made by Ramirez. After attacking a couple in their home, he stole their car. He didn't know the police had a new secret weapon, an automated license plate recognition system. The stolen car was flagged, and police found it abandoned. Inside, they lifted a single, clear fingerprint from the rearview mirror. This was the moment everything changed. The print was run through the brand new automated fingerprint identification system, and it came back with a match. Ricardo Lovato Ramirez, a 25-year-old drifter with a rap sheet of minor offenses. The Phantom finally had a face and a name. The Los Angeles Police Department moved fast. They released Ramirez's mugshot to the public. Suddenly, his face was everywhere, on every television screen, on the front page of every newspaper. The man who had terrorized California from the shadows was now exposed to the light. The city held its breath. Ramirez, unaware his identity was known, was on a bus heading back to Los Angeles after visiting his brother. When he stepped off the bus and into a convenience store, he was met with stares of recognition and terror. Seeing his own face staring back at him from a newspaper rack, he panicked and ran. What followed was one of the most incredible moments in the history of citizen justice. Ramirez, desperate to escape, tried to carjack multiple vehicles, but his attempts were thwarted by ordinary people who refused to be victims. A crowd began to form, chasing him through the streets of an East Los Angeles neighborhood, El Matador. They shouted the killer. They weren't armed police officers, they were residents, fed up and furious. They cornered him, and a man subdued him with a steel rod. When the police arrived, they found the terrifying Night Stalker beaten and held down by the very community he had terrorized. The reign of terror was finally over, not in a hail of gunfire, but at the hands of empowered citizens. The trial of Richard Ramirez was a media circus. He reveled in the attention, often flashing a pentagram drawn on his palm to the cameras and snarling "Hail Satan" in the courtroom. He showed no remorse. His demeanor, arrogant and chilling. Despite his theatrics, the evidence against him was overwhelming. Dozens of survivors and witnesses testified, recounting their horrific ordeals. In 1989, after a lengthy and sensationalized trial, Richard Ramirez was found guilty of 13 murders, 5 attempted murders, 11 sexual assaults, and 14 burglaries. He was sentenced to die in California's gas chamber. Upon receiving his sentence, Ramirez infamously told the court, "Big deal. Death always went with the territory. See you in Disneyland." He never expressed remorse for his crimes. He spent years on death row, becoming an odd sort of celebrity, receiving letters from admirers, and even marrying one of them in prison. Richard Ramirez was never executed. He died in 2013 from complications of basal lymphoma while still awaiting his execution on death row. But for the people of California, and for the families of his victims, the scars of that terrifying summer will never fully fade. The story of the Night Stalker serves as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk just outside a seemingly safe window, and the incredible courage of a community that refused to live in fear. Thank you for joining us on this journey into one of history's most frightening cases. If you found this story captivating, please hit that like button and subscribe to Unresolved Case Files for more deep dives into the mysteries that keep us up at night. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.